All right, let's dive into one of the most powerful moments in literature. We're going to look at a single pivotal chapter from Hermann Hesse's classic, Siddhartha. This is a story of a man hitting absolute rock bottom. And what he finds there, by a river, is both a desperate end and a truly astonishing new beginning.
This one line, it just says it all, doesn't it? For years, Siddhartha was on this intense spiritual quest. But now, he's given up. He's thrown himself into worldly things, into wealth and pleasure. And the result isn't happiness. It's a deep, hollowing emptiness. That bird in his heart, his spirit, his aliveness, it's just gone. There's nothing left.
So this brings us to the absolute brink. This is Siddhartha at his breaking point. He's so disgusted with the life he's built and the man he's become that he genuinely believes there's no coming back.
I mean, what a powerful image. He doesn't just feel sad, he feels poisoned. That life of indulgence that was supposed to be so fun, it's become a spiritual toxin, and he's just absorbed it all, soaked it up like a sponge, until he is so full of self-hatred that there's simply no room for anything else.
His despair runs so deep, he can't even imagine doing the most basic human things anymore. Think about that for a second. Breathing, eating, sleeping, these are become alien concepts to him. He's questioning the very fabric of existence, completely convinced that this painful cycle has finally, mercifully, run its course.
And so he wanders. And where does he end up? At the very same river he crossed years ago as a hopeful, determined young man. But this time, it's not a path forward, it's an escape hatch. The water is the only thing he sees that can wash away the shame and smash this broken version of himself into nothing.
So there he is, at the absolute bottom, about to let go. And then, right from that point of total despair, something completely unexpected happens. A sound. A single sound that will change everything.
He looks at his own reflection in the water, his face all twisted, and he spits at it. He closes his eyes and just lets himself fall, lets his body slip toward the river, ready for it all to be over. So is this it? Is this how his entire journey ends?
And from some long-forgotten place deep in his soul, one sound bubbles up. Now this isn't just some random word. For him, Om is everything. It's a sacred sound from his childhood, representing the perfection and the oneness of the entire universe. And hearing it is like a jolt of lightning to his spirit. In that one instant, he gets it. He understands how completely foolish it was to try and destroy his body, this temporary form, when the life force flowing through him is eternal. The shock of this realization is so massive, so profound, that his body just gives out. He collapses right there and falls into this dreamless, healing sleep. It's more than just a nap. It's a symbolic death. The old, weary Siddhartha is gone, and this sleep is the fertile ground for something new to grow.
And, well, when he finally does wake up, the man who fell asleep by that tree is no longer there. In his place is someone completely, fundamentally different. I mean, the change is just night and day. The guy who collapsed was just filled with disgust, his soul completely worn out. But the man who wakes up, he's renewed. He feels rested and has this incredible sense of joy and curiosity, like a child seeing the world for the very first time.
So as he's sitting there marveling at this new feeling, he sees a monk watching over him, and it's Govinda, his oldest friend in the world. But get this, the transformation is so total that Govinda, who has known him his entire life, has no idea who he's talking to. He doesn't recognize him at all. You can see why Govinda would be confused, right? He's looking at this guy who says he's a spiritual pilgrim, but he's decked out in the expensive clothes of a rich man, even has perfumed hair. It doesn't make any sense. It's a walking paradox. Siddhartha is still wearing the uniform of his past life, but his spirit is something else entirely.
And listen to Siddhartha's answer. It's just perfect. He doesn't deny any of it. He owns it. He's basically saying, yeah, I wore these clothes because I was a rich man, just like I was a Brahmin, and just like I was an ascetic. Those were all just phases, just temporary states. They come and they go. He finally understands that our identities aren't these fixed, solid things. They're fluid. And that understanding is the key to his newfound peace.
This brings us to the real heart of the lesson.
Siddhartha starts to reflect on the strange, winding, and often foolish path that somehow led him to this incredible moment of clarity.
He looks back and sees his life not as a straight line or a series of failures, but as this amazing detour. He started as a spiritual kid, obsessed with holy texts. Then he became a hardened ascetic, trying to kill his ego through suffering. Then he swung the other way completely, losing himself in money and pleasure. And all of it, every single step, was necessary to bring him right back to the beginning, but as a child again, ready to learn.
And here it is, the big revelation. None of it was a waste. Every mistake, every vice, all the despair, it all had a purpose. He realizes now that he had to get completely and utterly lost in order to truly find his way. He had to earn this fresh start through foolishness.
This is the great, beautiful paradox of his whole journey. All his attempts at being pure and holy just pushed him further away from his goal. It was only by allowing himself to be a fool, by diving into sin and the beautiful messiness of life, that he could finally break down his ego and let his real self come through.
So we don't end with a neat little conclusion. We end with a new beginning. The same river that he wanted to use to end his life now seems to be holding a secret, a new lesson just for him. The old Siddhartha has died, but a new one is standing there on the riverbank, finally ready to listen. And it leaves us all wondering, what's next? What is that river going to teach him now?